So now what I want to do is to get started at creating a practical project in which we put our scripting skills to the test. I've created this basic scene here which contains just a floor created from the prototyping assets as well as a third-person character controller. These are created just using the standard Unity assets, and you can find this project in the course companion files in the collect game folder. I have also imported a very basic sound effect. And what I simply want to do in this game is control this character running around the level, and he's going to be able to run into different power-up objects and collect them. And when he collects all of the objects, the game is going to end. So let's get started at creating that. So we have this character here, and when I press the play button on the toolbar here, I can use the W, S, A and D keys to run this character around the level, and we can see him moving around. So we have standard player controls here, but of course we don't have anything to collect. So I'm going to get started at doing that, and the way that's going to work is I'm going to create a single object to collect and then make a prefab from that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a completely new object to collect. I'm going to choose game object, choose 3D object, and choose, well, let's choose a sphere. So I'm going to create a sphere object, and I'm also going to create a completely new material that we can apply to this sphere. So down here in the project panel, I'm going to right click, choose create, and then I'm going to choose material, and I'll call this collect mat for collect material. And over here in the object inspector, for the albedo slot, I'm just simply going to change the color from white, and I'm going to make this maybe a kind of yellowy gold, something like that. And then drag and drop that onto the sphere object. And actually I'm just going to move the sphere just slightly away from the character so that we can focus on that. So what I want to do is I want this character to be able to walk and run into this sphere, and when they do, they will collect the object. You can see that the sphere has a sphere collider component, and there is a checkbox enabled on that called is trigger. Now right now this is disabled. This means that when we play the game and we walk the character forwards, they can't actually walk through the sphere because the sphere is not a trigger. It's classified as a solid object and won't allow us to pass through. But what I can do is I can enable the is trigger checkbox here, press play on the toolbar again, and this time we can walk through the sphere. So the character reacts to that, but still that's okay. We can just still walk through the sphere. But of course, he doesn't actually collect anything. The sphere doesn't disappear. It doesn't detect when the player walks into the sphere, and we want to fix that now. So I'm just going to stop playback here. You'll notice also if I select the third person controller character, this character here, you'll see that under the tag section, this character is tagged as the player character. That's going to be important for our script file. So down here in the project panel, I'm going to right click and choose create and then choose C# script. And I'm going to name this script power up like so. And it's going to be dragged and dropped onto the sphere. And actually I'm going to select the sphere, and over here in the object inspector, I'm going to name the sphere power up. Actually, let me just spell that properly like so, power up. And for the tags, well, there are different things that we could choose, but none of these are really very appropriate. So I'm going to add a completely new tag. I'm going to choose add tag, and we get to add an additional tag. So I'm going to click the plus icon, and I'm going to give this a name of, let's say, power up like so. So that when I select this power object, I can click on the tag list, and now I can select power up to say this object is tagged as a power up. This is a helpful way for me to organize multiple objects together. So now let's double click on the power up script file, open that in MonoDevelop, and get started at coding this power up. We'll see how to do that next.